I'd like to share with you in this week's Parshas Ekev something very beautiful from the Rebbe's father, Rabbi Levi Yitzchok Zatzal. In this week's Parsha, we have the famous pasuk we say in the second paragraph of Shema, "Ulo ovdoi b'chol levavchem," you should serve Hashem with your whole heart. Explains the Gemara in Ta'anis, in the tractate of Ta'anis, Daf Beis Amar Aleph, what is the service of your heart? And the Gemara says this is tefillah, the davening. We know the main part of davening is the Shmoina Esrei. Explains Rabbi Yitzchok an interesting Gemara. The Gemara says in Brachos, Daf Chof Ches Amud Beis, that when a person bows down to Hashem, he has to bend down in such a position that his heart, Liboy, we should be able to see, if it's on the floor, a coin that's called Isur. A Isur. Explains Rabbi Levi Yitzchok a few interesting things. What's the connection of davening to this coin Isur? There's many, many coins that the Gemara could have said. We have a dinner, a pruta, many coins that you have in the currency of the times of the Gemara. Why does the Gemara Ula pick specifically the Isser coin? And also, why does the Gemara use the Lashon, his heart should see? You bend down, it should be facing the Isser. You could have said your chest. What's the meaning of heart, Liboy? Explains Rabbi Levi Yitzchok something which, based on the Rebbe explains in Torah, or on the Posik, Oisri Lagefen. Over there we also have the word Oisri is similar to the word Isser. And the Rebbe explains that, when a person serves Hashem, a person could get emotionally ecstatic, and he could be very happy and overwhelmed, jubilant. And sometimes when a person gets fired up in his heart, if it's only the emotion, it could lead to unwishful acts. Famous Mashal and Chassidus. A person could get so fired up in his connection to Hashem. Like after davening, he'll see someone who's not doing the proper thing and he'll burst out with anger against them. Something which is not what Hashem wants. Has to be done in the proper way. But this is an outcome from his emotional, fiery feeling. And therefore, this is what the Gemara is teaching him. Your heart, when you daven, you may be full of excitement, and you may be ecstatic, and you yearn, and you love, and your fiery feeling for Hashem. But it must be facing an Isser. An Isser it's broken up into two parts. Osar Yud. Osar means you have to tie it, like the Rebbe says in Perek Vav of Tanya. Mutter means it's untied. Isser means, or Osar, something is forbidden. It means it's connected, it's tied to Klippa. Osar over here means you have to tie it to what? To the letter Yud. Hinting to what it explains in Tanya. In Tanya, in the Geras HaTshuva Perek Dal, that says, the four letters of Hashem's name correspond, as we spoke many times, to four levels of a person. The Yud is your essence, symbolizing a Jew's faith and his humility to Hashem. He puts himself on the side, your feelings and your understanding. He's totally just devoted in a sense of humility and faith to Hashem. The Hey, first day, symbolizes your understanding, the Vav, your feelings, and the Vav is your feelings, and the Hey, the last Hey, is your action. So the Yud symbolizes what? A person's pure faith in Hashem. He puts himself on the side, his feelings, his understanding, and he does exactly what Hashem wants. And this is what Ula is telling us. When you daven, you're going to be emotionally aroused, and you're going to be full of jubilation and excitement. But you have to make sure that's the fiery part. But you have to make sure also to cool it down. And that's the Mayim, that's the water, explains in Tanya, in Perek Gimel. And that's the Yud, the essence of your neshama, which means that over there in that part of your neshama, It's not your own personal feelings. It's not your own personal understanding. It's what does Hashem want? I become bottled. I become nullified to the wish of Hashem. So when you have those two qualities together, it's liboy, your heart, your emotion, facing that iser, you're tying it with the yod, then your davening will be properly. I just want to conclude an interesting story that I once saw by the Rebbe's of Farbringen. The one time it was Rosh Hashanah, it was Thursday, Friday, the Rebbe Farbringed Friday. And there's a lot of laws since we wash at the end of by that Farbringen. There's laws concerning Shabbos. And the Gabbai, the one who was calling out, he was making some mistakes back and forth, and he made a few times a mistake, and all of a sudden, you heard from the crowd like a big laugh. And the Rebbe got very serious. It was the middle of the end of Rosh Hashanah. And we heard the Rebbe say these words, Vigilu biroda, which means that you should rejoice. A yid has to always be besimcha. But biroda, it has to be in a way of trembling, which means a way of awe. It's not just a frivolous laughter and a time of mocking and joking. So this is what you have also over here. You have the liboy, you have that fiery feeling, but together with the P'chinas Chochma, the Yud, the total, a person nullifies himself towards Hashem, and then he only follows what does Hashem want. And he puts his own personal feelings and understanding on the side, and then you have the proper combination. And that's why Ula says, Ad sheyira liboy, your heart. He doesn't say your chest, symbolizing to your emotions. It has to be facing this Issa to tie it with the Yod of your essence of your neshama, your Yechidah Shebenefesh, total devotion to Hashem, and then you have the proper davening.